Hey everybody, today is July 11th, 2021, and just want to go over Virgin Galactic as ticker symbol SPCE because today was a huge news day for them. They launched their first fully crewed flight. Sir Richard Branson went into space and returned safely. Thank goodness. Everything seemed to have gone well with the flight. There was a huge press conference. The entire thing was broadcast live. I believe Richard Branson even did a personal kind of vlog video from space, which was shown live today. So we will look at what is going on with the stock and what we think will happen. So here we have the ticker symbol, and this was a stock that was doing very well at the start of the year. I think most growth tech stocks were doing extremely well up until mid to late February. February 24th was when the 10-year treasury yield of 1.3%, which was a low, was announced, and from then on we did see a sell-off of tech and growth. For a lot of people who are kind of interested in those types of stocks, you probably all noticed that February, March, and up to April were pretty bad months for all of your growth stocks. And that is because of the 10-year treasury yield. But we did see space from 62.80 was their high, I believe, and then we saw that sharp drop, and it had hit a low of about 14.27. And we did start seeing a recovery in May and June. A lot of these growth stocks did start seeing that recovery in May and June. And this was, again, trading around 15 to, I would say, 25, so within that $10 range. And it lasted that long for about a month. And then now it seems to have broken into, for May, between about, I'd say, 25 to 35 was the new range, so it went up about $10 in that range. And then we see it now hitting a high of 57.42, and this was on June 28th, and we have seen it fluctuate back and forth. So this announcement of the launch was actually made about 2 or 3 weeks ago. It wasn't made too long ago. So this bump up was actually due to other activity and not the news of the launch. Richard Branson did announce it after Jeff Bezos announced his going into space. I think Richard Branson just wanted to one-up him. Just a little bragging rights among billionaires, I guess. But we do see very kind of jumpy lines on the day-to-day here, going from one day it'll be up and then it'll be down and it'll be up, but it is trading between I believe about 42 to 52. But tomorrow is the first day of the market after the launch, and I wouldn't be surprised if we see a jump. This is going to be this I would say is a rumor, but the news was that the launch was successful. If there had been a failure or any issues, we would have most likely seen a large drop tomorrow. But because it was a successful launch, I do expect to see a jump tomorrow and moving on into Tuesday. I do think we're going to see a lot of options activity on this. We already do have a lot of options activity. I think the 50 is going to be in the money tomorrow, and I wouldn't be surprised if we see more purchases down the line for calls. So one thing to watch out for, though, is that even though there are going to be a lot of buys, the implied volatility is extremely high right now. It's past 200%. So these are inflated prices on these calls. So I would be very wary of this when making a purchase, because you are paying a very high premium in the hopes that the price will stay up by Friday. Especially if you're buying calls for the 16th, I would be very careful, because theta decay is going to be real, and I wouldn't be surprised if people go for because of the high premiums, they might go for the cheaper options. This thing goes all the way to 125, so If people are buying these, we might start seeing a breakdown because they are really not going to be boosting the delta, the shares purchased by the market makers because Delta is so low at this point for these option calls. We'll look at, let's see, the 23rd. Volume, open interest seems very low. Everything seems under 3,000. The 30th, again, seems low. Everything here is under 2,000. And these are all weekly, so volume and open interest does tend to be low on the weeklies. The next monthly is on the 20th, and even on that, we are under 7,000. The highest is this one, $75 and this, again, you're seeing very high prices, mainly because the implied volatility is so high. Again, this is going to be a buy the rumor, sell the news, and I do think that the enthusiasm for this event is probably going to be dying down this week, so a lot of people will be looking to take profits. Virgin Galactic, when it comes to space, I would say that it does have a future as a company because they did have a successful launch, but this is going to be kind of a recreational trip for the ultra wealthy. I believe a ticket to space costs about $600,000, and they are planning on starting in 2022. I don't know if that's still going to be the actual date, but 2022 is when they are planning on having these launches start. And a good sign was that, Richard Branson, he seems to be a healthy man, but he is also, I believe, 70 years old. So, and I believe like top speed during the launch when I was watching was like Mach 3 with quite a bit of acceleration and quite a bit of G-forces involved. So, for someone of his age to be doing that, he seemed perfectly fine after landing. So that will be kind of a nice thing. But yeah, the market for this is going to be kind of strange as a company because, it's no matter how you look at how successful this launch was, space travel is still considered a very dangerous thing. And if you're a ultra wealthy, high net worth individual with, tens of millions of dollars where you can spend $500,000 on a one-day trip to space, which lasts a couple of minutes. How willing would you be to put your life on the line for that? And if once you do it, is it going to be a repeat experience for you? Or are you going to be thinking, oh, that was great. That was a good use of $500,000. I think I'll do it on a yearly basis. Or is it just one of those things on your bucket list that you're going to be looking to check off once you're done? So I think that when you look at space-related businesses, things that are more kind of commercial versus recreational might be a better long-term investment. But I do think that Virgin Galactic does have a lot of room for growth. I don't know if that growth is going to be this year, and I don't know if the current price really justifies what people speculate that growth will be. Again, once I think the news dies down, the price is going to probably drop. I think probably around the $25 level is going to be the consensus price for this, but again, this is not financial advice. These are just my personal thoughts on the matter. And if you do own space, holding it on for a couple days, you will probably see a nice bump. But unless you are planning on holding this for years and years and years, it might be a good time to take profits either tomorrow or Tuesday.